to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show, 1130 The Tiger. This part of the show is brought to you by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Coastal Conservation Association, Louisiana Charter Boats, and the Red River Waterway Commission. I'm Gary McCoy. Right there in the dead center of your radio, he's the Ranger Pro staffer, Steve Graff.
Touchdown.
Old Mud Hen Mike Eccles is here again. And
you sound disappointed about that.
He's such a quacker.
Stinkbait.
I can go home and be treated like this.
Stinkbait and Troy are in there, and I got one complaint.
Uh-oh. About our new studio?
About the brand new studio. I mean, they have knocked it out of the park, but they made these chairs too dang comfortable.
I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Go to sleep.
I'm thinking the same thing.
And if you're watching us on television,
mine vibrates.
The gentleman to my left is Joe Stevens with Holy Angels, and we're going to be visiting with him about the Big Dip Bass Tournament. That's a fundraiser for Holy Angels coming up about mid-month in September. One of the big issues that we've got around here that we're going to be covering today, though, the weekend prior to that, opening weekend of dove season.
Yeah, big weekend.
And on the show with us today, Game Warden Sergeant Josh Estes is going to discuss some of the dove hunting issues and some of the do's and don'ts, most common mistakes.
Right.
Don't hunt with Gary McCoy.
If you don't want handcuffs put on your opening day, you need to listen to today's show.
I'm going to tell you what, there's hundreds of don'ts. I don't know how many do's there are. There's not very many do's.
Yeah, you can put that in a thimble.
Yeah.
Also on today's show, Nina Wood.
Yeah.
Okay, who's Nina Wood? Gary, who's not? It's Mrs. Forrest.
Yeah,
Wood.
It's Ranger, the first lady of Ranger Boats.
Yeah. And just in her life in Flippin, Arkansas, and that's
a real place, by the way.
It is.
You wasn't just saying Flippin, Arkansas.
No.
That's a real place.
But the little world that she called home, there with Forrest, became the hub between there and Montgomery, Alabama, of bass fishing as we know it today. And, some of the things that we want to get her to walk us through, was the evolution and, taking a chance. I've had several people in my life who've come to me and said, hey, I got a really good business idea. This is something we ought to do. It's going to require that you go borrow money or do this or do that, and you're going to have to make the investment. And I've never had the intestinal fortitude to do that. And I'm not against
or the credit
or the credit.
Well, Gary and I were having a little conversation in his office a few minutes ago, and he was talking about you just wonder what she thought when Forrest walked in and said, "I'm fixing to start building." When I've approached my wife with several harebrained ideas, I'm sure Julie McCoy's probably heard some of Gary McCoy's harebrained ideas, and she looks at you like you got, like you stupid or something, and so you just got to wonder.
Well, keep in mind, behind every successful man, there's a good woman with expensive taste.
Yeah.
Oh, amen. Hey, Joe,
I thought you were going to give away my final word.
Is that the way it is at your house? Is there a woman with expensive taste behind you?
My wife gets everything she wants.
There you go.
Yes, dear. The best two words you can ever learn when you first get married. Also today, Louisiana Charter Boat Captain, say this, Anthony
Buquois.
Yeah, okay.
Buquois.
Yeah, you ought to see the spelling on that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not too far off when you look at it. At first I thought it was Bucoy.
Yeah.
But it's Buquois.
And he's going to give us an idea of some of the big fishing adventures that he's got going down there and what's happening in the southern part of the state right now.
Exactly.
Any reports on big redfish specs? Anything?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. Golly. I wrote it down. They're biting.
You forgot it?
No, I've got it. Dwayne Chapman, who called in, he just spent the weekend down there with the rodeo, they call it, with the CCA does with the legislature.
Yeah.
And he told me who all, there was lots of fish caught.
Wow.
I mean, not just redfish. There was, all kind of sailfish and dolphins. They did a lot of offshore stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll have to find it, but there are a lot of trout and redfish and a lot of offshore fish being caught right now.
So it's a good time to go.
Yeah, cocodrie, hackberry.
And if you're not in CCA yet and you hadn't gotten into the
Star tournament,
don't
go down there and don't spend the $30 for it and catch a $30,000 fish and not be able to cash in.
Yeah.
Now, a question for you guys. Maybe y'all know the answer. I'm going down to around Galveston and fishing. Does that apply in that area as well?
I think it did. I think because it's the coastal conservation, I think it applied to wherever. Obviously, if
If
they
you
didn't
go to
stock any fish-
Galveston and catch one of those fish that David Cresson put out in Venice, they'll honor it.
Okay. So
Hey, if
I
you-
better sign up.
If you go to Minnesota and catch one of those fish that David Cresson put out, they'll honor it.
Oh Lord.
A couple of other things going on this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. This is a great activity for you with a great cause. 556 Tactical. Remember the guys? They were set up right next to us last year at the Sportsman's Expo.
Right.
They, along with several other companies here in Louisiana, have come together to teach a one-of-a-kind concealed handgun permit class. They're doing it this Saturday and Sunday, August 8 and 9. And the proceeds from this is the cool part. The proceeds from this will benefit the Moore family. Now, Grayson Moore, I don't know if he's 4 or 5 years old, but he had a shooting accident and was critically injured. And he has made a miraculous recovery, but his medical costs just shot through the roof. And his daddy, Stephen, who was he's a vet, former law enforcement officer, he had just lost his job just prior to Grayson having this accident. And they are going to take all the proceeds from this class and give those to the Moore family. It's $100. The place to go to get more info, you can go onto their Facebook page. It's the official name of the thing is Give More, the Grayson Moore Charity Louisiana Concealed Handgun Permit Course. Special emphasis on this one on child safety, obviously, and unauthorized person access prevention. And you can either holler at us. You can. I'll try to get this up on our Hooking Up and Tracking Down Facebook page. But you can shoot an email to Russell at 556tactical.com.
Stink bait. We need Outdoor Outlaws music here in a second.
Okay, well, do you see the irony here? Here's somebody injured in a shooting accident,
Right.
and the family is not up in arms against arms.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good point that you meant.
Yeah, let's bring the gun owners in.
Yeah.
Support them and do this fundraiser.
Education is
Yes.
what it's all about.
Right.
That's the most important thing. Gun ownership to me comes with so many more responsibilities than most people would ever consider when they go to Walmart or they go to Cypress Knee, wherever they go to purchase their weapon. There's a lot of all they did was pass a background check, and in a lot of cases, they didn't go through what you and I and what all three of us have gone through,
Right.
With our fathers and our uncles, everybody
Grandpa.
teaching us something
Yeah.
about that responsibility that comes with that gun ownership.
And it's just like driving a car.
Sure.
It's just like driving a four-wheeler, just like driving a boat.
Yeah.
We grew up with guns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I had a gun when I was 4 or 5 years
Oh,
old.
yeah.
Exactly.
I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I grew up driving a truck around a field.
Yeah.
I
Same
grew
way.
up driving a 10-horse outboard motor.
Right. Yeah.
Things have changed. Kids are not raised from the start that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be trained. It doesn't mean that trucks are bad or four-wheelers are bad or boats are bad. And
Right.
it damn sure doesn't mean guns are bad.
Amen.
But you should be trained.
Exactly.
Because
Education.
times have changed.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And that's where this steps in.
Well, and what excites me about it, they didn't get overly excited and go crazy about gun control. A good example, there was a young boy who's just passed away. He was a bat boy for one of the Major League Baseball
I saw
teams.
that.
And he got clipped by a bat by a guy on the on-deck circle. He walked up behind him, I guess, and
Yeah,
got
yeah,
clipped.
that's
And
exactly
he
what
has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're eliminating bat boys and bat girls from how many years have we had? And again, that's a tragedy.
That was an
I
honor
would
for
hate
that little
my
boy to be
child-
there.
Oh, but to take that away now from so many young boys and girls that look forward to that, all because of this one instance, is just overreaction to
Sure.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
But anyway,
you're exactly right.
all right, little Outdoor Outlaws. We got two stories here, guys. Do y'all want to do them? You want me to do the first
Oh,
one?
we're all ears.
Y'all want to fight
We're
over
all
the second
ears.
one?
You just go right ahead.
Y'all fight over the second one.
Make yourself at
Well, I
home.
only see one, so I'm not doing the second.
Two Louisiana men cited for illegal hunting. They were sentenced in Avoyelles 12th Judicial District Court on June 18th for illegal hunting activity. Judge William Bennett sentenced Barry Lachey II, 19. Lachey. Okay. Right. Well, good. Lachey. You coon ass over here. 19 of Marksville, and Travis Maddox, 28. I got that right because of the baseball pitcher. Maddox, 28 of Alexandria. Mike knew who that was too. For their involvement in illegal hunting activity for illegally killing a black bear, Lachey was sentenced to 120 days in the Avoyelles Parish Jail with credit for time served and suspended.
Okay, cut to the how'd they kill? What'd they do wrong? I mean, obviously they shot a black bear.
Killed a black bear, and then this other guy, Maddox, was sentenced for illegally taking of deer. 120 days he was placed. Let's see here. Lachey and Maddox were arrested October 13th for several deer violations and that had taken place on the Grand Lake Rod and Gun Club in the Avoyelles Parish. The incident consisted of 5 deer that were illegally taken. In October 2013, a bear was discovered killed within the vicinity of the Grand Lake Rod and Gun Club. After an extensive investigation, Lachey and Maddox were arrested for taking the bear during closed season in early 2014.
Wow.
So
they shot 5 deer and a bear.
Yeah. There wasn't no mistake that it was a hog. He just shot the bear.
Now tell me, I mean, the season for bear is that a
they don't have
salt, pepper, garlic, and
seasoning, and a hot skillet, and just cube your meat.
It said during the closed season.
But I think it's closed for deer season. I don't think there is a bear season right now.
That was my next question. Are we to the point now to where they're going to start allowing some of the taking of?
According to my buddy, wildlife and fishery biologist and federal game warden Brett Hortman, yes, they're working on possibly. They're seeing enough of them now that they're thinking about implementing a hunting season for black bear.
What, like Tensas somewhere around?
Yeah, probably where they're most prevalent right now. Possibly hadn't been done yet, but we'll let everybody know when you can shoot a black bear.
You know, when you kill a black bear anyplace else, you make this great big rug covers the wall. You kill one in Louisiana, it's not going to be much more than like a throw rug in front of the bathtub. Little bears.
When you were growing up, your mama had that thing on the toilet. On the lid of the toilet. That's what it'll be.
Louisiana black bear commode lid covers.
All right, who's going to do the last one there?
The catfish?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not actually an outdoor outlaw. These guys didn't go to jail. They do need to go somewhere, though. They can't stay here.
Yeah.
A Bosque County game warden and the sheriff's deputies responded to a call to rescue a couple of fishermen whose inflatable raft was sinking. Okay, there's mistake number one. Yeah. If you got to blow it up,
there you go.
Don't fish out of it.
Don't go fishing.
And certainly don't put a trolling motor on it.
Exactly.
Anyway, this deputy locates the fisherman offshore while the warden launches the little patrol boat. The warden was able to quickly reach the fishermen who were in the water at this point, clinging to the mostly deflated raft. Warden helped both men get into the patrol boat, safely return them to the boat ramp. Apparently, they had been in the 63-degree water for more than an hour. Both men, now here we go. Both men said some of the catfish that they caught must have finned the raft. When you're in a vessel that the fish you bring into can sink it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to get a new vessel.
You need a bigger boat.
Yeah, exactly. They also said the stringer they used had wrapped around the trolling motor, disabling control of the craft. Now, our little rocket scientists did put on their life jackets before they went into the water. God love them.
Okay, now, I'm betting
alcohol was involved.
I'm betting that it was crushed beer cans instead of catfish fins. I bet.
You know what? You're probably right. Dead on. Hey, y'all sit tight. We've got Joe Stevens in here. Heck of a bass tournament coming up to benefit the Holy Angels, and it's going to be mid-month September, and it's looking like things for the Red River are just getting better and better and better every day. And Joe will give us all the ins and outs of that tournament. It's on the way next. Hook it up and track it down. 11:30, The Tiger.
Baby, you just ain't into nothing yet. Here's something that you never.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System.
So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as traps, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge.
This segment presented by BioBore Fuel Treatment, Daiwa Rods and Reels, Paul's Farm and Garden, and Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, the #1 Ranger boat dealer nationwide for 2014. Speaking of #1, here's the #1 trio in all of outdoors radio: Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Wow, did y'all notice how good looking this show just got to be with Elizabeth on there?
And how good she sounds.
Wow.
That is great, man.
There's a lot of people that are going to think that's Tiffany Lakowski, especially Mike, if we can get him off the phone and join the show that's in progress.
He's over here.
Joe Stevens.
Send a flag up.
Joe Stevens is in the house with us today. He is with Holy Angels. And, Joe, you guys have got a bass tournament coming up that will benefit Holy Angels September the 12th.
Correct.
On the river.
Correct.
And things are looking good for the river nowadays.
Yeah. I know for a fact that first tournament is being held out of Red River South this weekend.
Yeah, the ALS Can Kiss My Bass tournament is this weekend.
Right.
Forgot about that, yeah.
So it's working out really well for us. Hopefully, we know it's going to be hot. And last year, we had conflicts with several tournaments in the area. Lake Fork, Pioneer Days. We had a small turnout. We had a good turnout, but a small turnout. It being the first year.
Right.
I think we had 36 boats. But we're hoping this year. I did a little more research. We positioned it this year on September the 12th, and it's looking like prime time as far as I'm concerned, because everybody's itching to fish on the river.
Team tournament or singles tournament?
It's two man, 3 bass limit tournament.
Okay.
And before we get too far into the bass fishing tournament itself, tell us about Holy Angels. What is that organization? What's it all about?
I got involved with Holy Angels, and I'm probably going to get emotional, but my wife, her daughter, is a special needs child. And she made the decision in May of last year to put her in Holy Angels. And once she put her in, I brought it upon myself to do something to help her. Back to your question, Holy Angels helps infants up to, adults with special needs. It's like a school for special needs people. They have classrooms they go to.
So if you need special equipment for a special needs child, they help fund that. They help.
Well, it's actually a living facility.
Oh, wow,
okay.
you live there.
It's a place.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
You are that is your home.
Oh, okay.
That is your home. And
they accommodate each patient to whatever their needs are.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. There's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last count was like 185 residents at Holy Angels.
Wow.
They have, and like I say, it's like going to school. And they have classes. They have computer rooms. They can go in, play on computers. They have shredding rooms. They can go in there and shred paper. They have art craft rooms.
So it's an interactive.
Exactly. Yeah. All day, every day. And I've been out there on several occasions and with some of their activities, and until you've seen what they do,
right?
It's you can't explain it.
Now, are they similar to Special Olympics in terms of do they have events like that?
Yes, they do. I believe, Steve. I don't know. Like I say, this is only my second year being involved with Holy Angels.
They have a run.
Yes, sir. They have a run.
Most of the residents, I was stumbling for the word, are in wheelchairs and pushed by their family.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like a year-round summer camp for the kids.
It is. It really, really
That's
is.
what it is, a year-round summer camp. They live there, and, without a doubt, probably the hardest decision you and your wife ever had to make probably the best. It's that good out there.
Yeah.
Now I have a question for you, Joe. In that, when you take part in this organization, obviously you take on the financial burden. I'm assuming of putting them in there. But do they receive any outside funding from that? Is there another way that that they're able to get their funding to provide? Because this has got to be costly.
That's one reason I do this tournament.
Fantastic.
And it's just like everything you see with the knowledge that I have of Holy Angels, the run that they do, the Taste of Shreveport. There's several different activities that go on in the community that benefit Holy Angels.
Fantastic.
And
that takes some of the financial burden off of the residents.
Oh yeah. The residents are well taken care of.
Oh, that's awesome.
That I can't go in.
That's the best case scenario.
I can't go into how they're taken care of, but I know they're taken care of.
Now, what about location? Is there only one location, or is this?
The only one I know of is in Shreveport, and I know just scanning through the internet, there's several. Yeah, because it's a Catholic-based organization.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that answers my other question.
And you can go on the internet and you can find different.
Hold on, I got it, Mike. That's a church. Okay, go ahead.
I grew up in a Catholic church.
Okay,
now I know that's no excuse.
That's classic.
But yes, it's a wonderful organization, and I was bound to do something. I have a friend of mine, Jay Peterson. He helps me with this, and I come up with this idea in May of last year to do this tournament, and we. Like I say, we had 36 boats, I believe, participate. Steve, you were one of them.
Yeah.
And that's where I met you at.
Right.
And we
did I win that event?
I can answer that.
In your mind, you might have. Yeah.
So how does somebody register? Where you got registration forms?
I have put entry forms at Red River South Marina. You can go on Holy Angels website and go click on the events tab.
Is that holyangels.com, holyangels.org?
It's just holyangels.com.
Okay, gotcha.
And you can go on there and click on the event tab, and it will show Fishing for Angels, Fall Bass Classic.
Oh, I love that. Fishing for Angels.
There is a printable entry form on their website. And I want to say we also have a Facebook page. It's called Fall Bass Classic. And I can't remember if I put a printable entry form on there or not.
But it's got a link back to the website on the Facebook page, I'm sure.
No, we do not have a website.
Okay.
We only have a Facebook page.
Okay, gotcha.
But there's a few. It's small right now. We have a few pictures from last year, the winners from last year, and another thing we had last year where we had some residents out there, to let them enjoy some of the activities. We had cook stations set up, and we had free food, and it was a really good time.
Well, you can count hooking up and tracking down. We're going to sponsor. We're going to help you with this, and so me, Gary, and Mike, we're going to get together today, and we'll talk about it, and I'll let you know exactly just how much we're going to help you with this, and we're looking forward to it. Like I said, I participated last year. Thought it was a great event, and
guaranteed first place, $3,000.
Yeah,
$3,000.
Yeah.
How much is entry?
$200 per team.
Okay.
And Big Bass is, I believe, $5, and it's 100% payback.
Okay. Yeah. And the date of the tournament, again, September the 12th. The host marina is Red River South. Obviously, we had some good news in that some of the public boat ramps reopened yesterday. As far north as Natchitoches, no word yet on Shreveport and Bossier public ramps. But you say it is a trailer tournament.
It is.
And, I mean, if I want to go launch somewhere, that's one of the private launches that's open, then obviously I could do that, or I can launch there at Red River South.
Right. We'll let everyone know when they come to register. We'll have 2 days of registration, which will be the Thursday and Friday before the tournament. That way it gives everybody time that might live out of town to get and register, and we'll let them know the ramp situation. If you have a particular ramp that you want to launch at and it's not open, then you're going to have to go to Red River South or find another launch.
Right,
We're going to make
right.
sure, that everyone, is safe in everything they do, and they abide by, what needs to be done.
Yeah.
You been on the river?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it from the road, and it has changed. I can tell you that.
Boy, you are a pioneer, aren't you?
There are islands that used to not be islands. The islands are gone in some places, and you can see trees now. Because she had a boat ramp, you could see over into that pot. Some of those trees are all gone. It's all
Joe,
desolated.
I'm gonna get with you this afternoon.
Okay.
If you've got, do you have any extra entries with you?
Absolutely.
If you can go by Bayou Outdoors, the boat dealership drops them off. You need to.
Okay.
If
that there.
if you have them with you, I'm going there this afternoon.
I have some in my.
I'll take them for you.
I had some
I'm going to
printed
put this out
morning.
on the Bayou Outdoors website
Okay.
for the Boss Tournament Trail, where we have almost 300 teams will have a chance to view it.
Right.
What about Facebook? You gonna put on there too?
What if I knew how?
Okay.
$200 entry fee, guaranteed $3,000 for first place.
There is one thing I'd like to mention before I leave. We are doing a raffle.
Yeah.
We have an AR-15, a BPMS Panther AR-15 that we're raffling off.
Great hog gun.
We're going to be set up at Bass Pro Shop August 22nd and 23rd out front, which is the weekend of the Hunting Classic.
Right.
So anybody that wants a chance at an AR-15, come by, get your tickets, and we will be giving that gun away the day of the tournament.
Is that the only only place you can buy the tickets in?
No,
Or
sir.
You're
No, sir.
selling them prior to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I want some.
Yes.
Now, Joe, that's they're how much a piece?
They're $10 a ticket.
Or you can get 2 for 20,
6 for 50.
or 6 for 50.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that simple math.
I know you were.
3 for 30.
You're not going to catch me.
Yeah, well, you're not Eccles.
And just so everybody knows, for the next 4 or 5 weeks leading up to this event, we're going to really be pushing this really hard for Joe, and what a great cause. Joe, thank you for coming in the studio.
And thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you for caring.
And you are actually our first guest in our new studio.
Don't you like this?
Hey,
Isn't this a nice studio?
It is.
there's
It
no
really
trophy, there's no money involved, but you are our first guest.
Hey, as long as I can get the word out and you guys help me, I'm totally satisfied.
We're going to do that, do you? We're going to do that.
Hook it up and track it down. 11:30, the Tiger.
In humble adoration.
Introducing the latest member of the Yamaha off-road family. It's one of nature's most tenacious, agile, and aggressive creatures. It thrives in the most remote, rugged, and tightly wooded territories. It never steps down from the challenge and often travels long distances in search of food and adventure. The all-new Yamaha Wolverine. More than an off-road vehicle, it's a whole new animal.
Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677.
You're listening to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show presented by Nichols Department Stores, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, J&J Exterminating, and Toledo Fiberglass, home of the Gorilla Hull. Check us out on Facebook or go to HUTD.net for tips and tactics to make you a better outdoorsman. Once again, here's Gary, Steve, and Mike.
And thanks again to Joe Stevens with the Holy Angels Bass Tournament. September the 12th, Red River. If you've got questions, we'll get all the information on our Facebook page and at HUTD. That's hookuptrackdown.net.
Now that hunting season is here, look no further than Nichols Department Store for all your outdoor needs. Deer stands to feeders, camo to ammo, Nichols has the top name brand in all phases of hunting. Also, check out their great line of camo clothing and their entire line of Rocky Mountain hunting boots. Mounting. That's Nichols Supply, your hunting headquarters for the Arklatex. Y'all knew I couldn't do it.
That's a different show.
Popo's on the phone, y'all.
Yeah, we got.
I don't know what y'all did this time. Sergeant Josh Estes with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. He's a game warden. And Josh, we're not very far off now. What is it? September the 5th, opening day in the West Zone for dove season. And one of the things most important to us, because I've been on the wrong side of the law on this particular issue, accidentally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
he's heard that
that's the first time you've heard that.
I was innocent. Yeah. Anyway, if you don't mind, what's the number one most common mistake that rednecks like me make when it comes to dove hunting?
Unplug gun.
Wow.
There you go.
Who takes the plug out of their gun, though? I mean, why would you ever take the plug out of your shotgun?
Well, a lot of folks, when they go skeet shooting, getting ready prior to dove season.
Yeah.
Just honing their skills a little bit before the season get kicked off.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to shoot skeet, with 7, 8 shells in there versus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So a lot of people, it's an honest mistake, I believe, on a lot of parts. But, I mean, it's, it's a mistake that you need to definitely check before you get out yonder.
One of the things that I was educated on as I sat before the federal magistrate was 2 activities that we had to take part in before the dove hunt ever began. One was to ask all parties, hey, did you bait this field? Did you bait this field? And then the second one was, did you look? Like you said, I stood on top. Now, listen, you got to understand, there was only bait in one spot that was maybe, 36 inches square. And I stood on top of it fishing. That was one of the last years when the season didn't start until noon. And I stood on top of it fishing that morning and never knew I was standing on bait. How do I know? Obviously, if I've asked,
what do I look for?
What do I know is bait?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you're standing in a harvested cornfield and there's sunflowers everywhere, it's pretty cut and dry there.
Sure.
It's a lot of things you can easily tell. Or if you're standing in a harvested cornfield and you see wheat spread everywhere, and chops. I'm sure y'all know what I'm referring to with that, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not hard. A lot of times what people will do is when they'll plant their wheat for soil erosion, a lot of times they'll come back in there and they'll spice it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And in that situation, it's real hard to know. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. And at that point, the person who places the bait out is the one that's in violation, because you or I or someone that's, under the impression that everything's good to go, and you did look and you did ask, and if they go back in there and throw wheat seed back on top of wheat that's already harvested and popped, you can't go back and reapply like that.
Yeah.
And
now, what about
if they do that? Go ahead.
What about like unharvested milo? Something like that. Now
that's not bait.
I know. So you're okay as long as it like unharvested corn, sunflower seeds. You're okay if it hadn't been cut yet, right?
It's okay if it's been cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it's been cut, it's no big deal.
But isn't there so much per square foot that you guys are looking for?
No.
That's what I was told before.
See,
that's what I mean. That's why we got Josh on here today.
Yeah. So, Josh, I mean, explain this for the common layman. As long as you didn't put it there, it's legal. If it grew there, it doesn't matter if you went in there and bush hogged down 50 acres of corn or 50 acres of sunflowers. If it grew there and you didn't add to it, then that's legal, correct?
That is legal. That is very legal.
I have never heard that. I've always been told.
Now for ducks, there is a percentage of soybeans
Now that's
and
right.
rice that can be left
I'm
in
just
the field.
referring to dove hunting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. So ducks would be different.
Yeah.
So, Josh, when you've arrived at the field, now this year, we're back to being able to hunt at
Sunrise.
30 minutes prior to or at sunrise.
Yeah, prior to 30 minutes prior to sunrise.
When you arrive at a field and you've asked everyone in the party, indeed, did you bait? And everybody says, no, I didn't bait. I hadn't even been here. And you go out and you do your inspection and you don't see anything. And all of a sudden there's 4 or 5 of the units come driving up. And they say, fellas, after the chase, and you guys ask those 2 questions. Did you ask and didn't you inspect? And it turns out that maybe the owner or someone else has baited the field. Am I still in violation at that point?
No, the person that places the bait is in violation there.
Okay.
Now, if you took part in placing the bait or you are aware of it, yes,
Right.
you are. But if you are not,
Yeah.
then that is correct.
Okay.
So,
Next.
and generally, this is these things are an investigative standpoint, and they take place prior to the opening day of dove season.
Oh, that's right. Game wardens are everywhere right now looking. You can rest assured.
Well, especially in Louisiana.
So that's what I'm saying. It's we don't so to just come in there and unknowingly. We're most of the time when there is a baited field, we already know prior to.
Right. Now, next question, because this is what I was told by a federal game warden. There's a 40-acre tract, 2 tracts over from me. My place is clean. We're perfectly fine. We're hunting, but doves are coming across my place, going to their place, which creates it as a designated flyway. That I was in violation if I hunt those doves coming from my field to across my field to their field because they're going directly to a baited field. I'm in violation. Is that right or wrong?
Well, see, Steve and I, we talked about this, and I'm not aware of ever hearing that. I mean, how can you speak for a man that's
exactly that was my comment to
10
him.
he's 10, 20 acres over from you,
right?
So no,
I thought that would never hold up.
And there is no in writing distance. There is no in writing distance on baiting.
Well, the way it's always been worded is, being in the hunting area. So, if you're on a field and you're in a, in I don't know, say a 5-acre block, and you got men hunting in that 5-acre block and it's baited, yes, they're all in violation.
You bet. Yeah. Okay, now one other question, and this one's going to be a little bit less sensitive. Identification. The Eurasian doves. We don't have a limit on the Eurasian doves. Do you ever see a smaller one of the Eurasian doves that looks like a mourning dove, or are they just all that much bigger and it's easy to tell that that's one of those?
They are easier to tell, and you're right. There is no, as long as the I want to say the wing and the head is attached to them,
mm-hmm.
there is no limit on a Eurasian or the ring. Now, if they don't have any of that stuff on there, then they will be included in your bag limit.
I do a heart
Which
shot
is
on those
15
guys.
this year, by the way.
I do a heart shot.
You do a hard shot.
I do the heart shot on those kind of birds.
Hey, Josh, this is Mike Eccles. I want you to know who's asking you this question in case you get.
Yeah, me and Gary want to make sure you know that too.
I mean, you're about to put me on the spot, man.
Well, no, I'm gonna do something that biologists and game wardens apparently aren't allowed to do because of their jobs, and that's opinion. Give your opinion. A dove has a lifespan of about 11 to 12 months. That means every dove that passes through here is going to fly down to Texas or Mexico or South America and die and not come back. Why do we give a rip so much about how many we kill or how we kill them?
That I can't answer you. that's going to be other people as far as biologists making that determination.
We got a limit of 15, which gives you almost a full handful of meat. and people will go to federal jail over shooting too many or spilling a bag of seed over something that they go to Mexico and they slaughter them by the millions,
or they die,
and they die. They don't come back through.
Yeah,
because they only live a year or less.
You know, you just brought up something that I hadn't even thought about. Let's just say that Josh, that we were camping out, for that opening weekend of dove season. We're going to spend the entire Labor Day dove hunting. What's the proper way after I've shot my limit today? What's the proper way for me to store those if I'm in a camp environment? I'm out right off the dove field. How am I supposed to keep those? For my bag limit.
Okay. You're gonna put your name and your address. You just take a piece of paper, and in our pamphlet, it also provides these. I guess you just call them tagging sheets, but
okay.
I mean, we've all done it by duck hunting. You just take and write your name and address. You write your hunting license number, the parish where you killed it, and on what date, and how many you had. And and of what kind?
Do I have to maintain the wing and the head for any Eurasians that are in that bag limit?
No, you can go ahead and clean your bag limit. Like if you're say you got, like you said, you're at the camp.
Yeah.
And you hunt on Saturday, and then you go hunt on Sunday.
Right.
All right. Well, you clean your birds and you tag them up. Okay. You're gonna put them in most of us put it in a grocery sack.
Right.
And you just have a tag attached to it on the outside, a piece of paper, anything that says all that information.
Gotcha.
And then you go hunting the following day, and you do the same thing before you leave the camp to come home.
Gotcha. Okay.
And no wing or head identification required on doves like it is ducks, right?
Not once you've made it to where you are going to be cleaning the bird.
Okay.
So
now you can't. What I'm saying by this is you can't sit out in the field in your lawn chair.
Right. Yeah.
You can't sit out there and do that.
Okay,
So-
but since there's no limit on Eurasians, should you keep them in a totally separate baggie so it doesn't hurt your possession limit? Go against your possession limit?
Yes. Now, if you're going to, if it comes into an issue, yes, I would.
Yeah, that's why I would separate.
That just avoids any kind of
Right.
misjudging. What was in the bag or whatever the case might be.
Okay. One last question for me. What constitutes the state of Louisiana opening 2 years in a row at 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 years at noon? What makes that decision, Josh?
The commission does. I don't, and I can't answer that question. I really don't know.
Okay.
I hope it stays.
I like it.
I can get home in time to watch LSU.
Yeah, exactly. Now on the WMAs and any department-owned land, everything's still going to open. Still opens at noon.
Right.
For any of your listeners that will be hunting on management areas.
Josh, any advice you want to give all the dove hunters right now? If you just had to give some words of wisdom and say, guys, make sure you do this and make sure you check that, what would it be?
The plug is one of the biggest things that I see. And it whether it's honest mistakes or not, I can't say for one case from another. But definitely check that. And just like y'all talked about, did you look and did you ask? Because a lot of people you'll see as advertisements in newspapers and Craigslist and the internet and wherever else. Come hunt doves for $100 a weekend. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say a lot of times, but in several cases, those places are baited up. And so, did you look? Did you ask? And spend 10 minutes, walk the field.
Mm-hmm. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to spend the money and spend the time, I mean, what's another 10 minutes?
Right.
Is there one final question? I know it's a final question.
Well, I got the last one.
If I'm hunting on the river, and let's just say that I found a good sandbar, can I hunt out of my boat If I'm dove hunting, can I hunt out of my boat? Does the motor have to be pulled up? Do I have to make any other kind of special provisions to be able to hunt legally? Or as long as the boat's not running, I'm okay?
The boat has to be stopped, period.
Okay, so I don't have to have the motor positioned up out of the water or anything. It just has to be stopped.
Yeah, no means of conveyance. And that means from drifting to paddling to trolling motor to any other.
So you need to be anchored, basically.
Or just pulled up on the sandbar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sandbar's fine.
Okay, good. All right, fantastic.
All right. Josh, thank you, man. Hey, great info. We appreciate you doing this for us today.
Oh, yeah. Y'all have a good one now.
Sergeant Josh Estes, game warden with...
Wait! Excuse me, sir! What you need is BioBore EV. It gives you full protection, prevents, and cleans. It protects, stabilizes, and rejuvenates. BioBore EV. That ethanol buster.
Protect your investment with the oldest, most certified family of fuel additives in the world. BioBore, the name you can trust.
Both machines offer two-wheel and four-wheel drive. But even in four-wheel drive mode, the best you're ever going to get on the Rincon is three-wheel drive. The way they tell it, their system is supposed to apply more torque to the wheel with the most traction. But we found the opposite to be true. Go figure. On the Grizzly, you can engage full four-wheel differential lock. All four wheels pulling with maximum traction all the time. You can't get fully locked four-wheel drive on any Honda ATV. Which one would you rather be riding?
Welcome back. This segment presented by Ranger Boats, Toledo Bend Lake Country, and Bellevue Meat Processing. This fall, let Bellevue Meat Processing take care of all of your wild game packing needs. Now back to the three guys who need to be processed, packed, and shipped out. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
That's Mike's dream woman. That's Elizabeth.
Oh, she's going to vacuum pack me.
I'm Gary McCoy, the Ranger Pro Staffer, Steve Graff in the middle of the radio. Just go right on past that.
Exactly.
And over on the other side, it's the old mud hen, Mike Eccles, on the phone.
Yeah, you got to promote.
Oh, that's right, I do. I got to tell you about Chris Nesbitt and Carla at Bellevue this fall. Let Bellevue Meat Processing take care of all your meat packing needs, specializing in beef, deer, elk, and other wild game processing for the freezer. And starting September the 1st, you want to make sure you call Chris or Carla Nesbitt and make an appointment for your beef cattle processing. I saw yesterday on their Facebook page, they're building a brand new lobby, and they've got a retail area that's in there. It's going to be really, really nice, right in front of the old entrance.
Chris and I were on the phone yesterday for 40 minutes, and we talked about a lot of things.
Did you let him say anything?
Yeah, I did. He did get a couple of words in. But the one thing we're going to have out there in honor of Hooking Up and Tracking Down is the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Wall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got a big banner already made.
Yeah.
Fiberglass mirror.
So it'll be big deer and hogs and stuff? Oh, awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it would be different if it was like the big cow.
Yeah,
they're not real elusive.
It's a wall of fame.
Anyway, don't forget to bring your elk or other exotic game to Bellevue Meat Processing as well. Whether you want sausage or steak cuts, Bellevue Meat Processing will make sure your beef or game is packaged right. Give them a call. Write this down. Go ahead and put it in your phone so you got it, when season rolls around. 318-453-2783. 318-453-2783.
And they'll start taking appointments for the beef cattle
September
processing September 1st.
Yeah.
So make sure you call for an appointment.
Okie dokie. We've got a real live fishing captain.
Yeah, we do.
On the phone with us right now. Spot On Fishing Adventures Captain Anthony Buqua. Did we say that right, Anthony?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay.
See,
we're just going to shut up now. I want
there.
Anthony just to talk now because those boys from South Louisiana. I love to just hear y'all talk. Anthony, are you one of those guys? You make groceries and save groceries?
No, so we just catch groceries.
Okay.
There you go.
Some of those guys, they make into groceries and then they save into groceries, and it's like, where are you saving them? We just eat them.
That's right. That's right.
So where exactly are you?
Catch them at the store.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in South Louisiana, in Leeville, Louisiana.
Leeville.
A lot of people probably don't know where that is, do they?
No. It ain't here. Is it close to Venice?
No, sir. It's on the way to Grand Isle.
Okay,
Matter of
gotcha.
fact, right, Leeville, Louisiana is on Highway 1 going on the way to Grand Isle right at the toll bridge.
Ah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's about 15 miles north of Grand Isle. So we fish Leeville, we fish Grand Isle, we fish Fouchon, Clear Island areas. Out of Leeville, we get to fish both
Fouchon's
sides
just
of the bay over
unbelievable.
there.
I've never been to Fouchon.
Yes, sir. it is.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Grand Isle's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Are the fish biting right now?
Yes, sir. We're catching right now. Our primary target right now is speckled trout. Man, we've been catching them all along the beaches of Grand Isle, Fouchon, Elmers, out on the coast.
What are you catching them on mostly, Anthony?
This time of the year, our main bait is going to be live shrimp, and for plastic, I throw a lot of just a matrix shad bait, in different colors depending on the clarity of the water. But that's the two primary baits that I throw on the boat right now: the live shrimp or the matrix shad plastic bait.
Hey, I heard something today, and I'm sure you probably do it, but I'd never heard it before. Somebody said fishing with live shrimp, put half the amount of stay alive in your shrimp that you'd put in your live well for your fish, and it keeps your shrimp alive. Have y'all ever done that?
No, sir. I've never done that for my live shrimp, but I have heard that before.
Okay.
Most of the time, we burn through them so fast catching our fish and get to go home early right now. We ain't got to worry about keeping them alive too long.
If you're having to worry about keeping your bait alive, yeah, you might have a problem.
That's a good problem to have. Real quick, Anthony, I want to talk about your spot-on fishing adventures. Like I said, it's in Leeville, Louisiana. What about accommodations? Tell us a little bit about the place and how y'all work everything.
Well, right there in Leeville, with my company, we do the fishing charters, and then right next door to where my charters is, there is a hotel room. It's got like 34 rooms that we set up accommodations for them in the hotel. If somebody's looking for more of a private type of accommodations, we have two houses right there next door to us also that can be rented out for more private accommodations with kitchens and all that kind of stuff in the houses for them there. And then we get up in the morning about daylight and we take them fishing, and we provide them with a whole day's worth of fishing, man. We're going to leave at safe light and come back in 1, 2 o'clock on average. We're going to fish 8 or 9 hours, come back, clean all the fish for them, put them in a bag for them, put some ice in their ice chest, and
they're good to go.
That's all they got to worry about.
You just
man.
spoil somebody rotten, don't you?
I'm telling you.
Sir?
I said, you just spoil somebody rotten, don't you?
That's right, man. The only thing they got to worry about doing with us is bring whatever you want to eat to drink on the boat for the day, man, and be willing to have a good time and catch some fish.
Captain Anthony Bouquin on the phone, spotonfishingadventures.com. Now, we were looking on here. You got some big old speckled trout. Are some of these fish caught recently?
Yes, sir, I believe they are. Man, just this past Friday, I think we had 67 or so in the boat for like 3 people, but of the sea, we had like 10 of them that were like 3 pounds, 4 pounds.
Man, those are jam up.
I never caught them that size before. Those are, but they do call me the Dink Master. So.
Okay, now with the Star Tournament that's going on right now, do you try to tell all of your guide parties, hey, look, this is something you probably want to take part in, especially if we're going to catch a redfish or a trout or something along those lines?
We try to mention that to them, man, and give them that opportunity to join it. I mean, it's real cheap to join. You get a CCA membership, and look, there's been 2 tagged redfish caught in Leeville this year already. 1 for a boat and 1 for a truck within 2 weeks apart.
Can you guarantee me a tagged fish? I will be there tomorrow.
I don't know why he's going to wait till tomorrow. I'm on my way now.
And folks, in case you're wondering, just what do you need to bring? All their trips include the boat, fuel, bait, artificial and live baits provided, the ice, the water, rods and reels, fish cleaning, and bags. They take care of it. All you need is a hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, which, like he just said, what you want to eat or drink, and your fishing license. And for Louisiana residents, freshwater and saltwater license are required, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
And
then
so
if you're an out-of-state license, there's a charter boat license for like $10 that covers you for like 3 days fishing on my boat.
Yeah.
One final question, Anthony, because we're about out of time on this one. As far as the business accommodations, let's say that I want to have a business type of an environment there. You can handle. Would you say 34 rooms?
Well, there's 34 rooms at the hotel right there.
Okay.
And, I mean, as long as we know early enough ahead of time, we can book as many as we want to.
Oh, yeah.
But most of the business customers, they want to rent the houses, those 2 houses that are right there. They sleep like 4 people to the house, and then there's a restaurant across the street, and we can set them up, make reservations, let them go sit down at the restaurant, eat that night before or the night after, whatever night they decide to stay.
Awesome.
So it's very
that's what
casual
most of our
trip.
business customers do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you
Very
get to fish
casual.
out. You get to fish out of a 24-foot Ranger bay boat as well. So.
Anthony Buqua, Captain Anthony Buqua. Again, go to spotonfishingadventures.com. Anthony, is it okay if we give your phone number out, or would it be okay for people to call you?
Yes, sir. They can call me on my phone number, which my phone number is 225-806-8808, or they can send me an email, and my email is captbuqua@gmail.com.
Yeah, and good luck on that spelling. You'll want to call Graf and figure out how to spell that.
Exactly.
Hey, Spot On Fishing Adventures, Captain Anthony Buqua. Thank you, brother.
Hey, man, I thank y'all.
All right, good job.
That sounds like the place. Yeah,
it's a
nice
great
guy.
place. Yeah, a great place for us to go.
Okay, I don't know if you heard, but earlier we announced this. Mrs. Nina Wood, Mrs. Forrest Wood, co-founder of Ranger Boats. She's next, just inducted into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. She'll be on the show next. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30, The Tiger.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
Welcome to the Natchitoches Shooting Range, where you can participate in many exciting activities such as trap, skeet, 5-stand, sporting clays, cowboy action shoots, and many others. Individual memberships and family memberships are available, but the public is welcome. Come enjoy yourself at the Natchitoches Shooting Range on Tawson Island Road, just before the Grand Ecour Bridge.
Don't drive to Shreveport or Alexandria to purchase your hunting and fishing supplies. Cypress Knee Outdoors is Natchitoches Hunting and Fishing Supply headquarters. Top name fishing brands Zoom, Sandtone, Strike King, and Bandit. Hunting supplies like scent blockers, deer attractants, duck calls, and deer stands. Need ammo? They got it. They also have a great supply of outdoor decor to decorate your camp. So make that short drive to Cypress Knee Outdoors, located at 3J's Four-Way, approximately 8 miles south of Natchitoches on Highway 1. Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677. Don't drive to Shreveport or Alexandria to purchase your hunting and fishing supplies. Cypress Knee Outdoors is Natchitoches Hunting and Fishing Supply headquarters. Top name fishing brands Zoom, Sandtone, Strike King, and Bandit. Hunting supplies like scent blockers, deer attractants, duck calls, and deer stands. Need ammo? They got it. They also have a great supply of outdoor decor to decorate your camp. So make that short drive to Cypress Knee Outdoors, located at 3J's Four-Way, approximately 8 miles south of Natchitoches on Highway 1.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana. too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter, and your heating and air conditioning system is burning holes in your paycheck, you need to call Luke at Guy Heating and Air.
We invented and patented the first aerated live well. We're first with higher flotation standards, first to receive a protected design hull copyright, and we're still the only boat with the strength of a solid fiberglass transom. With such a strong focus on non-stop innovation, no other boat enjoys such advanced engineering. Ranger Boats, we're celebrating 40 years of fishing and a lifetime of leadership. Discover Yamaha's VMAX power. When you want the best, choose Yamaha.
Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
Both machines offer two-wheel and four-wheel drive. But even in four-wheel drive mode, the best you're ever going to get on the Rincon is three-wheel drive. The way they tell it, their system is supposed to apply more torque to the wheel with the most traction. But we found the opposite to be true. Go figure. On the Grizzly, you can engage full four-wheel differential lock. All four wheels pulling with maximum traction all the time. You can't get fully locked four-wheel drive on any Honda ATV. Which one would you rather be riding?
And welcome back to Hooking Up and Tracking Now, Hour 2. And folks, today we have a very special guest, somebody that is, I guess you'd say a legend, unlike any of us.
They only made legends one at a time.
Exactly. Miss Nina Wood, the First Lady of Ranger Boats. And Miss Nina, we are truly honored to have you on as one of our guests.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Mrs. Nina Wood, I got to ask you this. I don't recall what year it was, but apparently, Ray Scott and Forrest had sat down and discussed this possible business proposition, and Ranger Boats became the bass boat of the Bass Angler Sportsman Society. And I'm sure that, in this initial discussion, Forrest looked at you and told you, hey, this is what we're going to do, and this is the investment that we're going to make, and we're going to crank this bass fishing thing up. We're going to get involved in these tournaments. Did you look at him like he had four heads?
Well, I usually backed him whatever he tried to do, sir, and that was, we had been in the float trip business for 14 years, and we were very well recognized in floating the Buffalo River and Crooked Creek and the White River, and so we were familiar with a lot of the outdoor riders around over the country, and we already knew that it would be a good move for us since we were trying real hard to get our boats recognized, and it turned out really good for us.
Was there any special meaning behind the name Ranger?
Yes, sir. Forrest just always admired the Texas Rangers, and so he just thought it'd be a good name, and it has turned out to be a good name for us, I believe.
Matter of fact, on our Facebook page, I have posted the history of Ranger Boats. It's a little video that was shot, and it explains, Gary, the meaning behind Ranger. And Forrest felt like it exhibits the toughness and the firmness of a Texas Ranger, and that's what he wanted to be recognized in his boats and his company. That's what he was after, as far as.
So the boat was named after law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Very much so. He's got quite a collection here in our museum that kind of depicts that very thing, too. He's got 2 or 3 displays in our museum here concerning the Texas Rangers, and he just was always fond of them and read everything he could could find to read about them.
And I want to say this. I have actually been to the museum, Miss Dinah, and I've told Gary McCoy, my co-host here today, that I was like, Gary, if you've never been there, it's one of the most interesting museums, especially something that's near and dear to our heart, which is fishing. You get to see how it all began from the very beginning to where we are today. You guys did a great job with that, Ms. Nina, and I want to commend you for that.
Thank you so very much. We're very proud of it.
On the phone, Mrs. Nina Wood, co-founder of Ranger Boats, just inducted into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And, all three of us at various stages in our career have all been part of the Ranger Pro staff.
Exactly.
And, Mrs. Nina, one of the things that you and Ranger Boats and Forrest do, I would say, far and above anybody else's, you've created this family. And when you become part of the Ranger Boats team, you feel like that you're part of a group of people that truly care about one another. Is that just indicative of flipping it as a whole? Is that a product of you and Forrest, or is that just something that y'all lucked into?
Well, I believe we had something to do with it, but we have just been surrounded by a lot of good people here, and it's just a thrill to us to call them family. And we are very closely connected with everyone that's ever worked for us, and we have people there at the factory that's been there for 45 years.
Oh, wow.
We've only been building boats for 40. Well, this started our 48th year now, so
wow.
It's a great.
Could you build a boat?
Great reflection on our area.
Do you know enough? I mean, could you go in there and build a boat yourself?
Well, I've helped in every department, I think, at one time or another. It was pretty crude the way we started out, but it's turned into a major thing for the area, and it's just so thrilling to see the product that is coming out of there now.
Well, to me, a compliment to you guys and Rangers is how many other boat manufacturers have sprung up in that northern Arkansas area, because they have actually pulled, I'm sure, some of Rangers' brain trust knowledge away from Ranger in order to build their own. Ranger is the foundation for the fiberglass boating world today.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So,
well, that's quite a compliment, and we feel that way. And everywhere we go in our travels, we have so many compliments, and it's just a thrill. We just completed our Ranger dealer meeting. It was held here in Flippin this year, and there was probably 800 or 900 people from around all over the country and some foreign countries here to participate in that, and it's just a big thrill to see the results of a lot of hard labor.
You bet. You know what? You guys have been involved in the sport of fishing, whether it was the trout fishing on the White River or, the bass fishing all the way through the last 40 years or so. And so you've been able to see a lot of the changes that politicians have made to our country. Do you think that right now that the outdoorsman is under attack?
Well, in some areas it is, yes. We have problems come up that Forrest fights constantly, for trying to protect our fishing streams and lakes. And in fact, he just attended a meeting last night to try to keep the lakes in this area clean and trying to make any kind of new improvements that needs to be made. Right now, our lakes are real full of water. We've had so much rain this year, the lakes are really full, but there's always a lot of work to be done after the lakes go back down to normal pool, and it's just a thrill to see the way people in this area try to protect them, and we do have lots of good fishing here.
Mm-hmm. Let's back up years ago, Ms. Nina, to a historical point at Ranger Boats, and I'm sure for you and Forrest in your lives as well, the fire. When the fire took place, did you think it was over? Did you think it was the end?
Well, I don't believe we thought about it very long, because the next morning we had trucks and bulldozers stuff in there pushing the ashes and getting ready to rebuild, and we were back and building
Wow.
boats again in 40 days. And I said something about it. It's just been 40 days since the fire, and Forrest said, "Well, that's 40 days and 40 nights too."
Wow. How ironic, huh?
So it did take a lot of hard work and a lot of good people. We had people doing new molds while we were building the building, and it just one of our daughters answered the phone that was nailed on a tree outdoors just to keep in contact with a lot of our people. He was able to save 60 boat orders in his desk as he knocked out a window there when we got here, but that's the only thing we saved in the whole building. So it turned out good for us. We had something to build when we did get rebuilt. So
Wow.
Well, Miss Nina, you and Forrest traveled together. I saw you just like 2 years ago here in Shreveport.
Yeah, the
and
cousin.
Forrest is always the epitome of the gentleman.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a doubt.
However,
after 64 years of marriage, I pretty well know him quite well. I think.
That's what I want. I want
you
the
have
dirt.
described him. You have described him perfectly.
I want something funny about Forrest Wood.
You want something funny about him?
Yeah.
Well, he likes to take a nap real often this day.
We all do that, though.
Well, I guess so. But we do travel extensively. He goes more than I do anymore. But I have enjoyed very much pre-fishing with him. And when he was fishing tournaments, he fished tournaments for a little over 20 years. And in addition to kind of keep the business going, so it's been a thrill, and we've met so many wonderful people, and still do, and we love the old friends, and we love to make new friends. So it's been a good life for us.
Any advice, Miss Nina? Again, Miss Nina Wood, co-founder of Ranger Boats on the Phone, just inducted into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. Any advice for the wife of a young angler who's really trying to make it? You know, you got any words of wisdom for her?
Well, it is a hard life for them to get started, but that's the only way they can make a good living. You know, anymore the pay is really good in tournament fishing, but when we first started, it was not near as good as it is today. But it's a lot of stress for the husband being gone, and a lot of times the wives can't travel with them if they have family at home and everything. But all I can say is just give them, if that's truly what they want to do, just give them all the support that you can.
Amen. Okay, if you got to load up right now and go fishing anywhere in America, whether it's white perch fishing, bass fishing, trout fishing, where would you and Mr. Forrest, where would y'all load up and go fishing?
Well, we have lots of good fishing here, but just to say I'd like to go somewhere different, I guess. I enjoyed Okeechobee, Florida an awful lot because I've got a real nice string of fish here that I caught there one time that I don't ever expect to catch a string like that again. But I also enjoyed New York. The scenery up there is just beautiful in the fall of the year because it's a whole lot like this area. It's real mountainous, and we've had good times everywhere we've ever been. So I can't say that there's any others that are particularly
I guarantee
more
you
important than others.
we could have took bets on asking Mrs. Nina Wood from Arkansas where she'd like to go fishing, and nobody would have ever figured you'd have said New York.
Well, I guess I was real fond of New York because Forrest won a tournament. The only real major tournament he ever won, I think, was in New York. So that was a real fun trip. But there's just lots of good fishing everywhere. So,
but there really is no place like Okeechobee. It's unique into itself.
What'd your stringer weigh?
47 pounds and 3 ounces, I believe. 9 fish is what I had.
Wow!
And, but it was a trip of a lifetime because I never expected to catch them like I did that day again.
Yeah. Well, Ms. Nina, we are just, like I said, just tickled. You know, guys, there are people who say that they're legends, and we've had guys quote legends on this show before, but none compared to Ms. Nina or Mr. Forrest Wood in that regard. They are truly legends of the sport and of the outdoors. And Ms. Nina, we are truly honored to have had you and Forrest on our program, and we just want to say thank you.
Thank you so very much, and I'll really enjoy having said that I got to speak with you folks today.
Thank you. Mrs. Nina Wood.
Thank you.
Co-founder of Ranger Boats, just inducted into the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. And you know what? You think about the other careers that she and Forrest put on the fast track to success. Hank Parker, you named some of the legendary Ranger team over the years. And when it came to the hub of all your sponsors, when it came to that one that actually helped you get into the door for other sponsorships, the minute that you signed your contract with Ranger Boats, you became part of the elite.
Yeah, a part of a family.
Exactly. But other people, when they knew that you were part of the Ranger team, it put you head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was because of the brand that Mrs. Nina and Forrest have created, and it's synonymous with bass fishing.
Exactly right.
Stay close, right or wrong. Our new segment, we'll find out how you would handle this situation. Would it be right or wrong? That's next. Hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, The Tiger.
Coming down.
Natchitoches, Louisiana is known for its rich history, and when you talk car buying, Natchitoches Ford has the distinction of selling the very first Ford automobiles in Louisiana. That means they have been satisfying customers for a long time. Friendly people who will make sure you have a great car buying experience. Their no high pressure and hassle-free sales staff will do their best to offer you the best service possible when buying that new car or truck. Family owned and operated, Calvin Braxton Sr. and Jr. want to invite you to stop by and see the guys who started it all in Louisiana car buying at Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, just off the Highway 1 bypass in Natchitoches, or call them at 318-352-3677.
Hello, I'm Troy Umbehagen. We at Natchitoches Nursing and Rehabilitation proudly support and watch TV17's local programming.
Some things just stay the same, but not Toledo Town and Tackle. Still the best selection of tackle on the bin. Zoom, dive with Gene LaRue and Santone. Now double the size of the original store, you have twice as much to choose from. With a new deli serving the best hamburgers, pizza, and soft drinks, you'll find something that's sure to fill your belly. They also have a great selection of tees and polo-style shirts. So stop in and treat yourself to the best tackle box on the bin. Toledo Town and Tackle on beautiful Toledo Bend Lake. Toledo Fiberglass specializes in fiberglass restoration, offering fiberglass repair on all major brands of ski and bass boats. Al Drew and his staff will get you back on the water where you belong. Everything from metal flake scratches to recarpeting, Toledo Fiberglass can fix it. It's also home of the Gorilla Hull and the headquarters of the Minn Kota Talon Shallow Water Anchor System. So the next time you need fiberglass repairs or restoration, go see Toledo Fiberglass just off the Texas Highway or call 800-554-5452.
Welcome back. This segment presented by Bob Seeley Outdoors, Red River Waterway Commission, Vicious Fishing Line, BioBore Fuel Treatment, and Natchitoches Power Sports. Hey, if you missed today's show, no problem. Tune in this and every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 right here on 1130 The Tiger for another round of awesome outdoors radio entertainment. Once again, here's Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff. Take it away, guys.
You know, having us on the second time is kind of like accidentally sawing off your pinky, and you just do it all over again. You know, oh, that was so much fun. I'll just do it again Saturday morning from 6 to 8. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I know that we're headed over. We're going to have a little lunch afterwards here at Silver Star Steakhouse.
Yes, we definitely will be.
Y'all come on out. Steve's buying.
Hey, not
I'm
everyone
ordering doubles.
Not everyone knows what it takes to make great barbecue, but Silver Star is not one of those places. These folks understand how to cut, smoke, and season great barbecue. From baked beans, potato salad, to coleslaw, Silver Star will have you looking for a shade tree and a pillow after lunch. You'll be fuller than a blue tick on a hound. So for your next barbecue adventure, look no further than Silver Star Barbecue and Steakhouse at the intersection of I-220 and Highway 80 in Bossier.
Let me tell you what. The other night, a couple weeks ago, 12 of us went out to see Ron White.
Oh, yeah.
We all met up at Silver Star before.
Yeah.
Was that your Sunday school class?
I bet it wasn't. They were singing, "Shall we gather at the river?"
Amazing
No,
Grace.
everybody there said it was the best steak they'd ever had in their life.
Really?
And you know what? They were all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were all right. Every one of them was right. It's the best steak you'll ever have in your life, without a shadow
They
of a
do
doubt.
a great job.
Oh, and don't forget now, Jason Boland, Texas country star Jason Boland, is there this Friday night at the Stage, and you can get all the information. He's got Josh Abbott coming in next week. He's got Neil McCoy soon after that.
Neil McCoy, if you go see Neil McCoy, local Shreveport firefighter Jared Morad is opening for Neil McCoy.
I love Jared Morad. What a great guy.
Oh, really?
That's going to be Thursday.
That's big time.
I think Thursday, October the 20th, or August the 20th is going to be the date on that one. Any rate, you can go to thestagebosier.com.
Isn't Neil McCoy, doesn't he live over at Longview?
That's my big brother.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's my big. Yeah.
I never put those two together.
Yes. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know
dude.
Yeah, does he admit it?
Yeah, well, of course he does.
I need to call.
We'll call him up.
Yeah, we'll call him.
Yeah. Invite him deer hunting.
We'll see.
Hey. Okay, this one is a tough one. Right or wrong? Hook it up and track it down, taking on the toughest questions perplexing America.
Yes.
Like,
Both
why
more-
is there 10 weenies in a package and only 8 buns?
Yeah.
Think about that.
These are all more.
Why do they have Braille on the drive-up ATM?
Yeah. These are all moral and ethical questions. Okay, this week, you're in a tournament. You're headed for the weigh-in. You've got a top 5 stringer in your boat.
I'm not fishing with Graf.
You're feeling good about yourself. And you're already pushing your check-in time. On your way back, you see an angler. And we've all been there. Those of us that have tournament fished, there's one angler that nobody can stand. They don't like the guy. He's trying to get your attention as you're running down the lake because he's broke down. He's waving his net. He's waving his arms, his hat. Everything's going crazy in the boat.
All right, wait a minute. Let me see if I got 25 pounds riding in the live
You got
wells.
25 pounds.
I'm getting close to check-in time.
Yeah, you pushing it.
And all of a sudden, I look up, and that guy nobody likes is broke down there.
Yeah.
How far am I away from the launch?
He has a reputation for being a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
Is it right or wrong for you to totally ignore him and continue as if you never saw him?
I didn't see squat. I'm sorry. Let the guy who's right behind me that's got 4 pounds. I'm sorry. I know I'm sounding like a butthead, but I'm just telling you in reality how it would be. I would get to the weigh in my fish and say, oh, by the way, I saw old Joe Bob out there broke down. Somebody go out there and pick him up. Or now that I've weighed my fish, can I go pick him up?
Well, for me, if I have a top 5 stringer in my boat, I won't be pushing check-in time. I'd already left an hour ago.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know if I'd be pushing it, but
if you got a top 5 string, somebody's gonna have to wake you up.
Well, hey,
from the dream.
Well, y'all pick on me a lot.
Hey, this sucker's the only one of the 3 of us that's won a blasted national championship.
Right.
But hey,
right.
Let's get back to the question at hand here. Yeah. I personally, and I know people. We all know people on our circuits that we have fished that we can't stand them.
Y'all don't talk about me while I'm sitting here, man.
It would be hard for me to pass the guy up. It really would.
Well, that's because you're a deacon, and I'm just telling you.
I'm not a deacon, by any stretch of the imagination. But
you're a good man, and I'm a butthead, and I'm sorry. Dude, you got to find your own way.
But you know what goes through my head?
What?
While I'm passing him up,
June bugs?
Would somebody else pass me up and leave me out there?
Yeah, but did you earn that reputation of being a butthead?
No, you try not to, but it's still, is there forgive and forget and just help the guy out, and maybe he'll return the favor one day. Now, if he passes
Are we talking
me
about?
up,
No, wait a minute. You've got 25 pounds in the boat, and we're talking about the possibility you're fixing to give up a Ranger boat. If you just want on the line is, Mike's got a Ranger boat out there, and I'm fixing to be 2 minutes late for this weigh-in and give up my Ranger boat to help somebody I don't even like?
Now, that changes the whole dynamic. I thought I was just fishing for $1,000, but now we got a boat on the line.
So in other words,
a boat on the line. I'm
right
gone.
has a price.
Yeah, exactly. I told you I can be bought.
All right, now, how does this apply to you, Mike? I mean, how do you answer this question?
I would not pass them up.
Okay.
Now
I'm the only one.
No, wait just a minute. I haven't finished. This could get bad.
Okay.
I would not pass them up. I'm going to swing by. Now, if they're broke down, in most team tournaments, most of them, one guy, you can pick one guy up.
He can grab his fish and jump in the boat.
He better already have them in a bag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He better, if I'm that late, he better be fish sacked up, ready to step over in my boat when I do a drive-by.
Right.
If I pull up, and
he's not ready right now?
Yeah, Joe Bob the Goober Head, it says, well, I'm broke down, but I hadn't got my fish. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to take off. I'm not going to be late.
Yeah, you better be ready for the next boat.
Late,
yeah, you better flag the next
I would
guy.
swing by and make the offer of picking up one person, but they need to have their stuff ready.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. I ran out of gas on Red River. This is a good segue. Joey Hood and I ran out of gas in my boat because I went all the way up 12 Mile Bayou, and we had a big sack. And I ran out about a mile from Clark's Marina.
Oh.
There was one boat came by us.
Oh, dude.
Guess who it was?
Who?
Billy Phipps.
Oh, man.
But before he could get to us,
Yeah.
we had the fish in the bag.
Yeah.
Joey Hood stepped over. He didn't even have to stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rolling.
And took him in by seconds, 30 seconds or something, and got to the weigh-in.
Wow.
But I had the obligation of, I see the boat coming. Of course, on the river, I could have shot him if he hadn't stopped.
But you know what?
But Billy Phipps, hey, I got almost back to it, and Billy was coming out from the marina with a can of gas. So, are we out of time?
Yeah.
I've got another right or
But
wrong.
Billy is the kind of guy,
that's
he'd have
right.
been late. He'd have been late.
He would have.
With that winning string of fish just to help you out.
I've got a right or wrong real
We'll
quick.
do it when we come back.
Okay.
Stay close. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger.
My sweet baby song.
Legendary quality. At Ranger, it's an unparalleled commitment to incredible strength. With the industry's only pull-truted transom, we don't rely on the upper deck to support the transom and motor. It's a difference so strong, we sliced off this rear deck to show its independence from the transom. From total performance to your peace of mind. Cut open the whole story at rangerstrong.com.
Don't drive to Shreveport or Alexandria to purchase your hunting and fishing supplies. Cypress Knee Outdoors is Natchitoches Hunting and Fishing Supply headquarters. Top name fishing brands Zoom, Santone, Strike King, and Bandit. Hunting supplies like scent blockers, deer attractants, duck calls, and deer stands. Need ammo? They got it. They also have a great supply of outdoor decor to decorate your camp. So make that short drive to Cypress Knee Outdoors, located at 3J's 4-Way, approximately 8 miles south of Natchitoches on Highway 1.
Once again, you're listening to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show presented by the Shreveport Sports Commission, Paul's Farm and Garden, Gamakatsu Hooks, and Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, your Ford truck headquarters for the Arklatex. Now back to the funniest, most intelligent, wittiest, best-looking, most caring, and sensitive guys of the radio world. They're everything a woman could want. Gary, Steve, and Mike.
Okay, so I'm best looking. You're what, most sensitive?
Sexy.
Did
she say sexy?
No, she didn't say nothing about sexy.
I thought I had it.
Yeah, you're most sensitive.
You had it in there. She edited it out.
Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger, Gary McCoy, along with the Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff, and Mike Eccles is here as well. And Mike, have y'all finished up the tournament?
No, we have two more Ram Slams.
Okay.
Elimination. We've got 7 people will fish this Saturday.
Okay, and you won't draw till Friday. You don't know what lake you're going to.
It'll either be Bistineau or Black Bayou Halston.
Okay. Which one would you rather go to?
It does not. It does. Whichever one we go to this week.
No, if you were an entrant, if you were fishing, where would Mike Eccles?
Well, it'd have to be Bistineau because I've only been on Black Bayou one time in the last 20 years.
Oh yeah, that.
But
that'd be
you got to fish one of them.
That'd be a dead giveaway.
So we quit at 1 o'clock each day. So we have 2 more of those. We have the Ram Slam Championship September 26th on Cross Lake. That's our Thursday night championship. Going to be giving away our third boat for the year, a Triton. We have the Greenwood Pioneer Day tournament the third week in September that we're doing. And
what's that, the 19th? Yeah, 5th, 12th, 9th, yeah.
And then, of course, now we're involved with the Holy Angels.
And that's going to be on the 12th.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Way to go.
So we've got a few more left.
Okay, we got another little twist, another right or wrong situation. It's bonus right or wrong week here at Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
And this is true. This isn't a made up scenario.
Oh, this is
true.
real.
Well, then who's going to tell the story? It can't be you.
Well, I didn't say I was going to tell the truth. I said it really happened. I've reserved the right to expound.
Okay.
Okay, right or wrong. I go fishing on a lake that I hardly ever fish. I launch at a ramp that I've hardly ever launched. I hadn't launched at it in 20 years. I'm fishing with a friend of mine, his truck and boat. We get to the ramp, and I say, I'll pay for the launch. Who do you pay? And the guy I'm fishing with says, that guy walking out of the marina headed this way, he'll take your money. He said, now the launch is $10. I said,
wow.
$10 for a launch?
Wow.
He says, but he puts you in the water, and he will have your truck in the water when you get ready to. So he loads you, unloads you, and loads you.
There's one at Natchez like that.
So me being a graduate of Woodlawn High School, 1971 math major, I do the math on this, and I say, well, that's $5 for launch and $5 for valet parking. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay.
So the guy comes down, and I say, plus, I want to be able to tell somebody I paid $10 for launch. So I insist on paying. I give the man $10. I get over in the boat with my buddy. He goes to get in the truck to back us down. He says, oh, by the way, I won't be here this afternoon to load y'all up. I'm going out of town. I got out of the boat and put him in a headlock and wanted $2.50 back, right or wrong?
Man. Well, you know what? That'd be like, honestly, that'd be like going in to Walmart and you buy a pair of Crocs and you open up the box and there's only one of them in there when you get home. Wouldn't that be the same?
Underwear? Crocs?
Oh, dude, man.
Shoes.
I don't know how in the world you could
Crocs.
fish without Crocs on.
Oh, I can't. I don't own Crocs.
Oh, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, there's people praying for
Those
you
sissy
right now.
socks of his.
Don't say that out loud. I'm just telling you, me and Randy Farr are praying for you. Billy Phipps, we've got to put hands on our boy, okay?
Yeah.
Me and Billy, Billy wear Crocs to Sunday school.
You're basically paying the guy $5 to launch and $5 for him to put you in
Sure,
the water
so
and take you out.
$2.50 to take you.
I thought I should have got $2.50 back.
Well, there is a place in Natchez on the lake I live on, Sibley Lake. The guy does the same thing.
I love that. That's a great idea.
But he don't charge 10, he only charges 5, which I thought was outrageous. I thought, my God,
$5 is not outrageous if you own a launch and ramp and have to carry insurance on it.
That's
It is not
probably
outrageous.
right. And it's just a private ramp.
Yeah.
It's his own ramp. And but he does put you in the water. Now, he's not always there to take you out, especially if you fish in after dark or you come in after dark. Doesn't seem to bother me. But that's $5 versus $10. That's
okay, how big a boy are we talking about?
I told you I had him in a headlock.
Okay, so, I mean, he wasn't threatening.
But when I put my hand in his front pocket, started feeling around, he started smiling. So I quit.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you ask him, okay, if you're not going to take us in and out, can we just launch ourselves and pay you $5?
I didn't ask
You
that.
didn't ask that?
How much of that is really true?
I went fishing.
Okay.
No. Every bit of it's true except the headlock deal.
Oh, okay. All right. Now,
Every bit of it's true.
now this is another
So
question.
you actually did request $250 back.
Oh, I left that part out too.
Now you just brought up
didn't
something
say anything.
else because you just talked about insurance.
Yeah.
You back your boat. You go into the launch. You back your boat down
The ramp. Right.
and all of a sudden, because of low water, because of poor maintenance, because of a number of things, that trailer falls off the end of that ramp.
Concrete chunk breaks loose. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got damage to your trailer.
Yeah.
Do you look to that marina owner for payment on that? There's no sign said launch at your own risk, and you've paid him for a launch.
No, me personally, no, I don't.
Okay.
Because I've got insurance. I just call my guy and say, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Now,
and he says, it's you again.
He may say, you need to go back on them.
Yeah.
My insurance company may send me back to him and say, they need to file that on their insurance. You don't need to file it on yours.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I just call my guy and say, hey, here's what happened. And then they tell me which direction to go. So,
yeah.
What do you?
I'm stumped.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I do think they're liable.
Originally, I would have said no, but I mean, I know for a fact that the places carry property insurance. And I know a lot of them don't make enough money off launch fees to pay for their insurance.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't put their money in the
No,
box.
they don't. And you know what? Shame on you for that.
Absolutely. You're stealing.
Yeah.
You're stealing. But then you go back to, okay, you've got the insurance, and I'm paying you for the use of your ramp, and because of lack of upkeep, now I've got $800 worth of damage.
Right.
I almost see where you would at least have the right to try to approach them up.
What if it just tore the lower unit off your motor?
Here's the more.
You back down and you know.
Okay, let's just say you back off the edge of the ramp. It's your fault.
Instead
of the concrete breaking loose, it just falls. You just back the trailer in wrong,
Right.
And it drops off.
So my wife is launching me again.
Now, are they liable?
Now that's your fault.
That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, now I think that's not the fault of the marina because his ramp is fine. You just didn't back your trailer down right.
But you know what? There's a lot of guys that will not be grown men about that situation. It was never their fault.
Are you kidding me?
I didn't do anything wrong. It was your fault.
No,
and
exactly
you know, at some point, you know, you've got to determine, hey, look, you know, I'm to blame here. This was me. But if I'm backing up exactly like I'm supposed to, I'm doing everything right, and all of a sudden my trailer falls off in a hole, and let's say that, you know, I'm by myself, and I trim my motor up a little bit, but not all the way. And bam, I hit this hole, and I've got a bent prop shaft now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking to you, Mr. Marina owner, because that's why I gave you the $5 or $7.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this: Red River Waterway.
Yeah.
They own at Red Oak Boat Ramp, one side or the other. Let me think a minute. I think it's if you're backing your boat down, it's the left side. There is an old stump or hole or something there.
There's a big difference in a stump or an old hole.
I don't know what it is.
One of them sticks up, the other one goes down.
Yeah, but you can't see it. It's all underwater. So I don't know, because your trailer kind of comes up and then it drops off real hard. And I can see if you had damage there. Is that the state of Louisiana pays for that? Should they be held liable?
You know, I'm going to tell you, you bring up a really good point, because I was just thinking about this the other day. When you turn in right here on Westport by the radio station, you turn in off Pines Road onto Westport, there is a terrible pothole right there. And I'm thinking that one of these days I'm gonna come along, and there's gonna be a car over there with a broken tie rod or a shredded tire right there. Who's responsible? Because especially if they're turning in at night, who's responsible for the repairs on that? You can't see it.
Exactly.
You know,
we need.
I came to the radio show one day. I swear this is true. As I drove by in front of Cracker Barrel, somebody had turned in Cracker Barrel.
They hit you with a biscuit.
No, that would have broke my windshield. And turned. They've got this huge boulder that's as big as this desk, and the guy drove up on top of it. In his truck and hung up like a gyp dog.
Did you get a picture of that?
No.
That's Facebook material out there.
High centered on top of this boulder.
I got a sneaky suspicion alcohol might have been involved in that.
That's hilarious.
11 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning.
I wanted pictures of that.
It was 5 o'clock somewhere. I promise you.
Now, does a sign at the boat ramp that says "launch at your own risk" does that cover the boat ramp?
You know, boy, that's a really good question.
That's an attorney question.
That's a really good question. I just think that, you know, marina owners, you know, it's their responsibility to make sure that even under low water conditions, let me know. Hey, look. You know, this is where the ramp stops.
Yeah. There should be poles where the concrete stops.
Right.
Under low water conditions, you have to back up twice as far, and the chances of backing up past the axle are greatly increased.
Sure.
Exactly.
You know, as long as they tell me to stop here, and it might be that I've got to, I got to get out and push my boat off the trailer. I can't just do it, you know, traditionally. Then, you know, as long as I know, I feel like I'm obligated for the responsibility of it at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hook it up and track it down. Man, it's hard to believe. We're up to the final segment.
I'm telling you, man.
Graf just won't shut up.
Time to eat.
Well, Mike got me looking up some Miss Kansas or something, so I got to find Miss Kansas here.
I want to see. Hook it up and track it down. 11:30. The Tiger.
Wait, excuse me, son. What you need is BioBore EV. It gives you full protection, prevents and cleans. It protects, stabilizes, and rejuvenates. BioBore EV. That ethanol buster.
Protect your investment with the oldest, most certified family of fuel additives in the world, BioBore, the name you can trust.
When I go shopping, I want camo, fishing tackle, guns, hunting gear, work clothes.
And when I go shopping, I want home decor, gifts, children's and baby clothes.
Fortunately, we can both get exactly what we need at the same place, Nichols.
All the name brands you can find in the big city without driving to the big city and paying big city prices.
Nichols, keeping folks happy since 1914.
Welcome back to the final segment presented by all of our newest sponsors: Louisiana Charter Boats Association, Bellevue Meat Processing, Silver Star Steakhouse and Barbecue, and Coastal Conservation of Louisiana. Join the CCA today and help save the coastal waters of Louisiana. Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook, where you'll find news, tips, and a little humor. That's the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show on Facebook. Check us out. One more time, here are the guys who continue to amaze only themselves: Gary McCoy, Steve Graff, and Mike Eccles.
Here's this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down best times to fish for this weekend, August 7th, 8th, and 9th. All 3 days this weekend are rated as poor as we come off a full moon, but that does not mean there's still not a good early morning bite. Starting this Friday, 5:54 till 8:54 a.m., on Saturday, 6:48 to 9:48 a.m., and on Sunday, 7:41 till 10:41 a.m. This has been your Hooking Up and Tracking Down best times to fish.
Speaking of those best times to fish, best place to fish this weekend might be the Red River. The ALS Can Kiss My Bass tournament that was started last year by Jimmy and Mickey Roberts. All the funds for this are going to families stricken with ALS, which is the Lou Gehrig's disease. They help out through what's called PALS, which is People with ALS. Jimmy and Mickey are holding this tournament on the Red River at a Red River South Marina. It's this Saturday. Registration at 5 a.m. Tournament from 6 to 1:30. They'll have the award ceremony at 2 o'clock. Entry fee, $35 per person or $70 per team. And they'll have some barbecue available. They've got other raffle things that you can get into there, with all the funds going to fight ALS and to help those families who have been stricken with that.
Now, if you want to go fishing this weekend or in the near future, get your pen out.
Mm-hmm.
I went yesterday with Maurice Jackson down on Toledo Bend.
Mm-hmm.
How's he doing?
He's doing good.
Is he really?
Yes,
Well, good.
Yes.
You tell that sucker we said hi.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
good.
And if you want to go fishing, crappie fishing, you need to call Maurice. We had 50 good ones. 2-man limit yesterday on shiners, deep brush tops. I wound up with almost a little over 10 pounds of actual meat, ribbed out, pure meat out of 50 crappie.
Wow. Way to go.
So if you want to book a crappie trip, call Maurice Jackson, 318-617-4887, 318-617-4887.
Did y'all fish out of a pontoon boat, or did y'all fish?
No, we fished out of his bass boat. Yep.
Okay. I was just wondering, if whether or not he could accommodate, a couple of kids or whatever the case might be.
He can take 2 or 3.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Speaking of tournaments and other activities going on, before we mention again the Holy Angels tournament that's coming up in September, I want to remind you that Jeff Matthews at Midnight Retrievers has given us this incredible opportunity for either your son or daughter who's 15 or 16 years old to get to spend an entire day with him working with all the dogs that he's got there at Midnight Retrievers in the Blanchard area. And we're talking about, from a puppy all the way to a well-seasoned dog that maybe, just getting tuned up, ready for a competition. and your son, because we want a young man, 15 to 16, and a young woman, 15 to 16. They'll get their own whistles. They get the whole shooting match, and they'll get real good hands-on experience with these dogs, especially if they're thinking about possibly getting their own retriever.
And that's what this is about. Jeff Matthews is not trying to sell dogs.
No,
He's not trying to sell anything except the idea of getting kids involved in something.
Sure.
His is a retriever world.
Right.
And we're going to do this.
And you
on
can't play it
Facebook.
on the Nintendo.
That's right. That's right. One Saturday morning, you're going to take your child out up to Cypress Lake. I think the park, that's where they're going to do it. They're going to be up there for probably 4 or 5 hours, and they will get. He's got some little puppies now, like 8, 10 weeks old, and it's amazing to see 10-week-old retriever go out in the water and work.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, all the way up to 3 and 4-year-old dogs that are competition dogs. Your son or daughter will get to say, okay, now after today, after the sweat, I still want a dog.
Yeah.
Or I want to get into training dogs.
Yeah.
You know, it's not some whim. You're going to get to live through it.
Get on our Facebook page, which is Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Get on our Facebook page. You can just put a post on there. You can actually send us a message, whatever. Get us that child's name. If you know one of us, shoot us a text. If you've got access to any kind of means of communication, all we need are those names, and we'll be announcing the winner of that towards the first or second week of September. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I think I forget the date he's going to do this, but it's the latter part of September.
And what's the age bracket again?
15 or 16-year-old.
Okay.
And we need a young man.
There's a reason for that.
Well, that's a real good age.
Yes.
That's that age where they're old enough that he's not actually having to babysit them, and they're really getting to appreciate what it is that they're doing.
And no, Julie, you can't send Gary out there the day for Jeff Matthews to babysit him.
I know she's going, dang. But get us that information again. On our website, we are HUTD.net. Hooking Up and Tracking Down on Facebook. Any way you can get us the names.
Okay, August the 27th, the Summer Grove Baptist Church Men's Night Out. It's going to be an outdoor get-together for men and boys. Call us what you want to.
Yeah.
Girls not allowed.
Amen.
Out at Summer Grove Baptist Church, they're going to have guest speakers. They're going to have a chance to win a 5-day Colorado elk hunt. They're going to have deer feeders, Yeti coolers to give away. Catfish supper will be served. This is a $10 ticket. This gets you in the door and fed. They want to sell all the tickets by August the 19th. They're not going to sell tickets at the door. They got to have a head count.
Right.
Got to know how many people, how many fish to buy.
Exactly.
Yeah, how many fish Steve's going to go out and catch for them.
There you go. Not many.
Okay. Summer Grove Baptist Church Men's Night Out, August the 27th. Buy your tickets by August the 19th. I'm going.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Also coming up, Bob Seeley. He has 2 tournaments left for the year. This next one, August 15th and 16th, is at Kentucky Lake. A great fishery. If you've never been there, it's a great place to go. Hourly payouts of $32,900 will be handed out hourly. Heaviest bass, again, will be $1,000 for each hour, paying all the way down to 5th place, which is $200. And total guaranteed cash and prizes, $100,000. 2015 Triton 189 TR X powered by Mercury, equipped with Minn Kota, Lowrance, Navionics, and Power Pole. It's a Triton boat, so again, fully loaded. Just another great event by Bob Seeley. Getting ready for the final event, which will be Lake Fork, which I'm going to try to schedule Bob over the next 2 weeks to come on and sit in with us for a whole show.
Oh, awesome.
I think that'd be great.
Also, on our Facebook page, you want to watch the 10 old school catfish techniques.
Exactly.
10 old school catfishing techniques. You can share your opinion on Cecil the lion that was killed by the dentist
right
in Africa on the wild game hunt, and to watch the history of Ranger boats. Again, thank you to Miss Nina Wood for spending the day with us today. Just inducted into the Outdoor Legends. Just an unbelievable interview. And check out the new Structure Scan 3D by Lowrance Electronics. Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
Here's today's final word. Over the past 8 years, the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show has had some great guests who have had big impacts on the outdoors. But today we went above and beyond even our own expectations with Ms. Nina Wood. They say behind every successful man, you'll find a strong and supportive woman. But in this case, Nina Wood is just as solid of a rock as the man she married. Today, she takes no backseat to any man or anybody from the great outdoors. She truly is an American legend who has given more to the outdoors than the outdoors will ever give to her. Today, we salute and honor Ms. Nina Wood and want to say thank you for all you have done to make the fishing world a much better place. Till next week, stay safe. May God bless till we meet again with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.
I am for the child who has been abused, the child who is afraid to go home,
who thinks it's her fault, who is forced to keep the secret or else.
I am for the child who has been neglected,
the child who does not know where his next meal is coming from,
who must fend for herself and her little sister alone. The child who has never been to a doctor or a dentist.
I am for the child who was taken away
for her own protection,
the child who is now in foster care, who does not know how long he'll be there,
or who these people are, or if she should trust them. I am for her.
The child who is in his third,
fourth, fifth,
sixth foster home this year.
The child who has attended 4 schools in 2 years.
Who sits in back of yet another class surrounded by strangers.
Believing in his heart that no one
cares. I'm for her. The child who has never been told
that he is loved.
That she is smart, beautiful,
talented,
worthy. That she is strong,
courageous.
That she is somebody. I am for her.
The child who one day will turn 18 and will be surrendered to the world.
I am for that child.
So I am there for that child.
To listen to her.
To speak for her.
To champion without compromise for what's in his best interest.
Because if I am
there for her, I know she will be half as likely to languish in foster care, and that much more likely to find a safe, permanent home.
She is the child I am for.
He is the child I am for.
They are the children I am for. She is the child I am for.
The child I am for is him.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
I'm a CASA volunteer.
I am you.
Welcome back to this week's Hooking Up and Tracking Down Tip of the Week. I'm Ranger Boat Pro staffer Steve Graff. I'm here today to show you a special knot that is great for top water. May, June, all through the summer, great top water time. It's that time of year. So I'm going to show you the loop knot, which allows your bait to work freely instead of being tied directly to the eye, which hinders the bait's action. I'm going to show you how to tie a loop knot that'll make it much more effective. Again, it's May's top water time. I'm going to show you how to tie the loop knot on this particular bait. I have a Zara spook with me today, but this works for popars, any type of floating top water bait. You take your line, you run it through the eye of the bait. You want to pull plenty of line through. Pull as much line through as you need to get the bait, because you're fixing to basically take the bait and run it through a loop. Okay, so you let the bait hang freely. Then you're going to take it and you're going 1, 2, 3. Do three loops. Take the bait, run it back through your big loop. Take the tag in and pull both ends at the same time. I like to hook it around the end of the eye of the bait and then pull it free from the bait to give me my loop. Wet it, pull it tight, and there you have your little loop right there for your loop knot. Now you cut the little tag end off and you're good to go. And that's the best way to tie the loop knot for your top water baits.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion's
my gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all to the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion. We serve America and its veterans. We pledge ourselves to our veterans, our youth, a strong national defense, and Americanism. These 4 pillars shape our work and what we do for America. There is power in our numbers. We're the largest organization of wartime veterans in the nation. We are 2.5 million members strong, men and women from every state in the nation and around the world. No other veterans organization wields this kind of power. We work relentlessly within our 4 pillars of service, and we succeed. The American Legion takes care of our fellow veterans and their families. We maintain close ties with Congress and the leaders in Washington, D.C. They respect us. They listen to us. We sponsor research and press for medical care and benefits for all veterans and active duty service members, whether they are members of the American Legion or not.
President Roosevelt signs G.I. Joe's Bill of Rights.
You've heard of the GI Bill of Rights, one of the most important pieces of social legislation of the 20th century. It was written and passed largely through the efforts of the American Legion. We were instrumental in the formation of what is now the Department of Veterans Affairs to make sure our veterans get the care and benefits they are promised and deserve. The young people of our nation are our future. They benefit from exceptional programs and generous scholarships that only the American Legion offers. We provide athletic programs like American Legion Junior Shooting Sports, Legion Baseball, and educational and civics programs like the Oratorical Scholarship Contest and Boys State and Boys Nation.
As Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black stated, the quality of justice that Americans receive should not depend upon the amount of money they have.
We promote citizenship and an appreciation of government. We have all been directly involved in our nation's defense as wartime veterans. We know what policies, tools, and manpower our military needs to protect this great country. We fight to get these things done.
We're all very grateful to have the American Legion on point.
We take our case all the way to the top in Washington, D.C. to ensure that America is prepared for any threat. We are patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. These pillars represent not just what we do, but who we are. We're here to serve our fellow veterans, their families, and all of America. We are here for them. We are here for you. The American Legion asks you to join us in our mission. If you share our vision and commitment to America, visit our website at legion.org or your nearest American Legion post today.
Don't drive to Shreveport or Alexandria to purchase your hunting and fishing supplies. Cypress Knee Outdoors is Natchitoches Hunting and Fishing Supply headquarters. Top name fishing brands Zoom, Santone, Strike King, and Bandit. Hunting supplies like scent blockers, deer attractants, duck calls, and deer stands. Need ammo? They got it. They also have a great supply of outdoor decor to decorate your camp. So make that short drive to Cypress Knee Outdoors, located at 3J's Four-Way, approximately 8 miles south of Natchitoches on Highway 1. Looking for a place to get away from it all? Look no further than Red River's Midway Marina in St. Maurice. Owners John and Kemp Nelson invite you to stop by for lunch or come in and rent one of several cabins for the weekend. RV hookups and a nice boat ramp that leads to some of the best skiing and fishing on Red River. Fully stocked bait and tackle store with gas pumps on and off the water. So book your next trip online, midwaymarinastmaurice.com, or call 318-646-0097.
You're watching KNTS Digital 19 in Natchitoches, Louisiana.